Hi, friends. Tap in. Oh, let's back our stand up. Is it a video without me if I'm not bonking something or being clumsy? I love the music in the background. It's a vibe. I'm going to let us enjoy it. Let's see if we can smudge. I thought our replacement was going to deliver, and it hasn't. Yes, get into the Halloween Oracle. You guys know I have the tarot and the Oracle, the Samhain, all the things. Look at him. He is such an OG. He's going to give us the last little juice. He is a trooper. We appreciate his service. I ordered a new pack, but they haven't delivered yet. So we got a little bit. He's barely lit there, but he gave us a little bit that he could, okay? How are you guys doing and how are you feeling? Let me turn the volume down just a little bit, although I really enjoy the vibe of that. Yeah, how are you guys doing? It's Sunday. Sorry, let's open up a chart. It's Sunday, and how in the heck are we already getting into full moon energy? I just feel like, what is time? We just leaped. So we'll definitely be checking in with each other. We're going to have a beautiful, juicy super moon. We're going to have Aries energy. It really feels like, whoosh, like holding up a, what am I seeing? Shooting a flare, a shout out, a call, not to remember the new timelines that we talked about so much, convergence energy. We're swimming in the void out here, aren't we? Neptune's going to join that Piscean energy in November. So listen, I promise you it's getting better. It's just the gunkiness, and you know how that goes. So yeah, I just thought, I wasn't quite ready to dive into the chart. We are going to have our full moon. It's kind of more like the 6th to the 7th. It depends, of course, as usual, where you are. Quite an interesting full moon to have when we think about the rulership and the scorpionic influence. It's going to be interesting to talk about. But you know what? Listen, I am just loving the decks that I've got. And what's crazy, hey, listen, if you're new here, if you're checking me out, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. I consider our energy here to be like a soul family. And that is still a little bit loud to me. Hold on, y'all. It's a little better. I consider us to be a soul family. I really don't hold space here for monetization, although I do have an astrology and tarot business, and I love to make ritual tools and hold space for my soul family. But listen, if you found your way here, thank you for being here. And when you like the video, if it's of service to you or you find the information helpful, inspirational, maybe an activation point or something visual, whatever you enjoyed, whatever was of service to your highest and best good, right? When we click the like, we just circulate that to like-minded souls who are maybe in our soul family, our tribe. And if you want to subscribe, what it helps for me is to get in alignment with your energy. And then our frequencies can kind of vibrate together and our messages can become more aligned. So there's my little spiel saying thanks for being here. It's not a numbers thing for me. Again, it's not a monetization thing for me. I could go on and talk for the rest of the time about how important it is in the age of Aquarius to connect with your soul family. But I really wanted to hold space because, listen, in the OG times of my awakening as a baby witch and all the other things that I would evolve into, It all started with tarot, you guys. This even goes back to a storytelling. We'd be telling the stories over here. Let me sip my vitamin water. We're always hydrating. What do you hydrate? I have like an electrolyte blend. We do love collagen and electrolyte, and we love all the things. I don't know why label it. Let's just suffice it to say groups of people that are neurodivergents, right? Is it just me? And I feel like I've read that other people say this, like we need lots of different methods of hydration. And I'm always hydrating with something over here. So, excuse me, guys, I may cough a little bit in your ear. I'm so sorry. But again, it's getting much better. The respiratory viral yuckiness that I've been struggling with. But yeah, it all started with the tarot and going back to child, listen, even growing up in the Bible Belt South, honey. Look, we've been doing Seasons of the Witch, so I'm going to go ahead and open and shuffle while we talk. But I will go ahead and tell you, this is the Halloween Oracle. Look, I'm not going to lie, this has been on my list for evers and evers. Y'all, look at the cute look. I'm just a sucker for visuals and a beautiful box and stuff. But it was kind of treat yourself. So I'm always on the lookout. I'll tell you what, there's so many tarot decks that you could get that are either blatantly, this is a Halloween deck, or the Jack-o'-lantern. There's lots of good ones. But I'm always on the hunt for oracles because I have found, searching high and low, I will say I haven't been on Etsy in a while. I won't even lie. So maybe there are original creators. And there could be some, like I do love to collect like indie and art themed, although I released and rehomed a lot of those when I was downsizing and doing the tiny living things. But yeah, anyway, I love to find a good oracle, but the whole journey started with the tarot. And I'll tell you what, I always tell this to people, you guys, maybe it's a message for someone. All my sweet, precious babies who are just waking up and following your soul path wherever that leads you. When you touch a tarot deck, understand that it is a collective body of energy and that as it was designed, you could tuck it in your pocket and carry a collective body of energy frequencies of protection, of ancestors, of occulted wisdom, of symbols, of colors, of astrology. Honey, astrology all throughout the tarot. I wager to say that if you are truly wanting to be a learner and a lifelong evolver, you're always growing, right? Pursuing knowledge. When you work with the tarot, it's just inevitable that the astrology will start speaking to you because the stars, the planets, the astrology, the occulted wisdom, anything, you name it, you pick it, the Kabbalah. Ladies, I'm sorry. Why are my dog? Let's be nice to each other. She's gonna give me this side eye, you guys. Sorry. Molly and Daisy were fussing. Why are you fussing? Be sweet, ladies. These stank faces. I'm so sorry, guys. So it's a collective body of energy, and it's all there, So again, that's another one of those things we could sit and just chit chat about. But the idea is that you could carry everything in the palms of your hand, literally, and look like you were, oh, darling, what, this old innocent card game? You feel what I'm saying? It was all there so that the collective body of frequencies and energies couldn't be lost, and we could really spiral on with that. But I love me just tapping into some good tarot. So I was so excited that I had just wanted this one for so long. I've already pulled a couple cards and worked with it. Of course, any deck that you see out here, I've already had my own process of cleansing, and it's sat in my space and everything. So unless I specifically, look, honey, I'm going to tell you something too. Like, I do have my own process when it comes to any energetic divination, ritual work, any type of tool. Of course, I have my own process of cleansing energy and then setting intentions. But I firmly believe that as soon as that thing crossed my threshold, it's like, it's not coming into my bubble in space. All that energy is immediately alchemized. But unless I specify, like, hey, we're going to unbox this deck together, it's safe to assume, child, you can come over here. The energy about to be real clean. You don't never have to worry about that. But listen, get into it. I love cute little small details. I love the back. Stacy DeMarco, this you guys may or may not have seen. You probably have seen it, I would wager to say. But look at that deal. So cute. Right, so get into the book. Very nice. I kind of like that it's not too long, but it really is nice. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry. Very nice. Love it. So yeah, I just thought we would just tap straight into the energy. We would not talk about astrology. I mean, 9 times out of 10, child, I'm about to, if Spirit brings something up and is like, hey, can we put a pin note in this? I'm going to tell you about it. And then you can do as you will. But yeah, guys, been over here working on super fun boo boxes for October, getting those all the finishing touches done so I can package and start shipping those out. We've been doing our monthly Major Arcana group. Still working through a lot of ancestral and personal readings for the season. But yeah, let's get into it. How have you been? Spirits, ancestors, and team. Ancestors who are both galactic and earthbound. Father God, Mother Goddess, divine source energy that connects us and runs through all things. We call on and work with energy that's in service to the highest and best good here and harming none, and so it is. We set intentions for health, wealth, abundance, prosperity, healing, expansion, growth, in a way that is always right on time, exactly how we need it, in service to our highest and best good. Okay, so listen, what do we have? All right, Stacy DeMarco, the Halloween Oracle, you guys. How cute. So freaking cute. Always feel free, if you want to book a reading with me. I do personal readings. I do birth charts, natal charts. I do fixed stars. I do, tarot, all the things. Okay, all the things. So the website is available. The email address is available. My Facebook business page is very active. It's also available. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Right off the top, let's see what energy we have. Interesting. Barmbrack. I love the image, and it almost looks like a baked good. Like a pumpkin bread, right? I love to bake pumpkin bread with chocolate chips. We love to bake anything. But look, what is this word? Barmbrack? It is a bread. Okay, guys, what? Look, we're going to learn today together. It's a traditional Irish bread. Barmbrack is an Irish sweetbread, rich with dried fruit, soaked in tea or whiskey. Okay, shoot. Okay. A Halloween tradition of Celtic origins, as it is told. It is a centerpiece for fortune-telling games where charms are baked into the loaf to predict the future of those who find them. What is this? The name comes from the Irish term Barmbrack. If you translate it, it means speckled loaf. Traditionally, the dried fruits would be raisins and sultanas are soaked overnight in black tea and or Irish whiskey that made them become plump and flavorful. The resulting bread would be sweeter than a sandwich loaf, but lighter and less rich than a cake. Okay. Listen, I'm sorry, I'm learning, okay? It's probably going to reiterate some of this when we read the book page. The Barmbrack is most famously associated with the Celtic festival of Samhain. the precursor to today's modern Halloween. During this time, the bakers would hide various items inside the loaf as a fun fortune-telling game or ritual. A ring would promise marriage in the coming year. A coin would be good fortune and wealth. A stick foretells, oh no, an unhappy marriage with constant disputes. A bee or a bean would predict the finder would not. Y'all, that's a lot of marriage about this. Okay, cloak or rag. Bad luck or financial hardship. Okay, that's interesting. Wow, okay. We had a little Celtic Irish Samhain history lesson, didn't we? Okay. Interesting. I make an oil. I make it almost every year because it's highly requested, but Pumpkin Prosperity is the name of it. And I literally put pumpkin seeds in the oil. If I can get it, some years I'll even add literal pumpkin oil. But sometimes I have friends who grow. I have a lot of friends on the mountain, y'all. And friends on the, I got the friends. So sometimes I can even get, excuse me, pumpkin flowers and dry them. So I did make Pumpkin Prosperity this year as well. All right, guys, let's read. It says sweetness and synergy on the card. Let's read about it together. I like the vibration that this is what's coming out because it's so easy in a time that has a lot of chaotic energy swirling. This is what happens when timelines are dying. There's a lot of inertia, but at the same time, there's a lot of chaos, which is so wild that I literally just said those two words because I was talking to a friend yesterday about the Five of Pentacles. And we were talking about inertia versus chaos and kind of just the acceptance of what is and like grounding and what makes these times easier to get through and gratitude. We just had this whole conversation. We were talking about the Five of Pentacles. That's so weird though, because we literally said those two words together. That's interesting. Inertia versus chaos. Sweetness and synergy. What I like about this though is that the pinnacle of what will begin to unfold for you in such a different time, in such a different way, Spirit is saying like that energy is moving now, is what you focus your attention on. Literally, I cannot drive it home enough. Where your attention goes, your energy will flow. And from that, you will manifest and create because that's your resonant frequency. And the way that the universe is set up to work in the current density and the current, let us say, level of school that we're at, the way that this dimensionality and quote unquote earth school works right now is you're going to magnetize towards yourself what matches your frequency. So let's read more about it. A pea, a cloth, a coin, a ring, and a stick. Within a loaf of speckled sweetness, slice it and eat it, a glimpse of my fate's completeness. Interesting. Not quite a cake and not quite a bread. Barmbrack is a sweet loaf, larger than a typical bread loaf, baked with flour, sugar, salt, and dried fruits such as raisins. The making of Barmbrack is an Irish tradition that still stands around Samhain or Halloween. The person baking the loaf would be sure to set the intention for love, truth, and synergy whilst preparing. Inside the dough, a number of special objects are hidden and baked into the loaf. The objects are used as a kind of random oracle. Each one has a particular meaning, which represents the fate of a person who could find it in their slice. The traditional objects include a coin, a pea, a stick, a ring, excuse me, you guys, and a small piece of cloth like muslin. Some other additions made in more modern times were religious medals. Should your slice of the brack contain a coin, this would indicate prosperity and good luck. The pea unfortunately meant that no marriage would occur for you that year, yet finding the ring meant a marriage was certain. The stick, to be avoided at all costs, indicates disputes and unhappiness, and finding the cloth meant bad luck and little money ahead. When you pull the Barmbrack card, it indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead. But this is so appropriate because let me tell you, because this is a way that spirit works and it's so fascinating. I still feel like I need to turn the volume down, y'all. is so fascinating to me, you guys, because this is how spirit works, right? We also had this conversation about, and this is the same, Five of Pentacles. That's so interesting. Why does that keep coming back? Okay, the astounding, what do we say? The biggest thing, the biggest takeaway, right, from the Five of Pentacles, because it keeps coming up. It's funny because they're talking about a coin. Should you receive the coin and wanting to know what's my fate, right? The Five of Pentacles is like, you could really get stuck believing that you've absolutely been left out in the cold. I.e., wow, nobody in the community cares about anything anymore. I.e., man, our country is just yada, 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 yada. You could colorfully fill in those blanks with plenty of things you've probably seen. A majority of those from weak, scared people who would never say this. They're probably saying them on social media. Yeah, I said what I said. It is what it is, okay? If it doesn't apply, it doesn't apply to you. But it's true, though. That's just the truth. But I'm saying the catch, right? What the kids say, the gag. Here's the gag, right? Is that there's a beautifully lit window that welcomes. I also love to call that card the when one door closes, three other doors open card. But 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see the three other doors open if you don't know how to take the high road, if you don't know how to adjust your perspective, if you don't know how to give thanks. You know, we always talk about master keys, right? Those are the master keys, okay? And then, you know, if you know the card, now I feel like I want to find it. If you know the card, right, you understand the energy. Very interesting, because we were also talking about how balance, grounding, we were talking about what have we really harvested, so to speak, right? What have we brought in from the harvest of being in a Virgo year? We've come out of the eclipse portal, 2 back-to-back new moons, coming out of all that energy. In the eclipse portal, we're still thick in it. But what have we brought out? You know, packing light, clearing and cleansing, taking care of our health. There's so many foundational points that we want to be keyed into, because from here is such a launch pad in the spring. It's such a launch pad from 25 to 27. And where you launch is really dependent upon where your frequency is. It's kind of like being able to see the colors on the spectrum. What colors can you see? And it depends on what you're looking for. And you know what I'm saying? You get me? So, but we were talking about, well, it might get really dark for a little while. Yes, absolutely, for sure. It's dark. Where do we create from? A dark void. The baby is birthed out of a dark womb. The bottom of the ocean, the womb of this beautiful earth dimension is a dark void. So are the cosmos, but is the potential of all creation there. It's Binah, it's all of these things. So we can still hold the light within. And that's what we ground into. And we were just talking about like grounding and balance and wisdom. Also, when you look at the Five of Pentacles, usually there's a person trying to show the other person where to go. Notice, though, they're usually both injured. Maybe one is sick. Maybe the other has the broken leg. You know, so it depends on the artist. But one is usually in a more uprighted position, as if they still have the strength to go forward. There's some sort of backlight. I know in the OG Rider-Waite, very traditional representation, the one that's standing hobbled on a crutch, but nonetheless hasn't really fallen all the way down yet, we would say, has a bell around their neck, which is the reminder that spirit is always with them, okay? So very interesting things to come together here, pulling this card. When you pull the Barmbrack card, it indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead, but it's important to balance that with the now. After all, we have the tools to change our future, should we choose. Absolutely. And even in the knowing, or even in the, excuse me, let's say, I always love when I work one-on-one with friends, family, clients, what have you, to let them know astrology, divination, all of these are tools, they're gifts, they're very beautiful. I'd much rather live in a colorful, imaginative, storytelling, divination, poetic, artistic type of reality. You feel what I'm saying? But we always understand that it's like reading the weather. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're still going to go out and do your day. And you're still so equipped. You're a walking form of the embodiment of everything that's in the universe. So you're going to be all right. But like, you know, sometimes we can work smarter, not harder. Sometimes we can choose how to prioritize better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to put an umbrella in my car. And then that way, hey, if it does rain, I'll be prepared. But if it doesn't, that's cool. We'll go on with the day anyway. You get what I'm saying? And we were just talking about it's such a gift in the year of 9 to reflect on this vibration of no matter what happens, I know I'm solid. I know I've gained so much wisdom, whether it was my spiritual, mental, or literal body health. I've learned a lot. I've alchemized a lot. Like, I'm good. You know, I'm prepared. I'm good. Like, let's get into it, right? Whatever comes. The sweet synergy of Barmbrack, all the ingredients included, the objects are more complete and powerful together than they are individually. And this should encourage you to seek your own sweet spot. Okay, I love that. I love that energy. Very nice. What deck, Spirit? Let's shuffle the adorable Happy Halloween Tarot. This is a newer one too. I'd never seen it before. And my friend who I'd shared this with was mentioning that Sony Graves, she did like this indie deck, and you know, like it finally got excuse me, published and printed. And then what happens is, like, if it's popular enough, a bigger printer will like mainstream print it and it'll pick up, right? So it's really cool to see. I love the deck. The energy is great. Excuse me, look how cute. You know, we love some good, adorable details. It's got really cute little ghosties and everything on the box. Love it. Okay. Nice book as well. Here's the book. We love it. Don't you see how, like, isn't it beautiful? Right now, you're choosing to cultivate and hold space and think about what are you focusing on, and what are you pouring your energy to? Who's pouring into you as well, right? Right now, we're cultivating a mindfulness practice. And what I love about it too is that we're also incorporating our inner child. And there's healing in that. There's creativity. There's brightness. There's color. So I love that for us. Let's see. So I feel like we got something. That's okay. Okay, Spirit. I've really enjoyed. I've been using this one for a couple days now. What do we have, Spirit? What messages? How can we elaborate on sweetness, on synergy, on grounding? Baking always makes me think of gratitude. When I bake, I think of my grandpa. I think of another beautiful lady who was kind of like an aunt to me who's passed. I think of a lot of things and people's recipes. I really do. Child, I can't bake as much as I used to. I gotta modify. We doing like protein additions. We trying to figure out, like, can we use monk fruit? What do you know? You gotta, hey, it's a Virgo year. Like, hear me out. How can I make this pumpkin, like, and what is the new thing? Oh, adding cottage cheese. Look, hear me out. Okay, you can do Greek yogurt too. Hear me out though. Game changer. Do you have a ninja bullet? Side note, don't drop it on your head. Child, because I've done it. What do we have on the cut? 7 of Cups and Temperance. Y'all, are they not the cutest? I know. Balance and Alchemy. When I teach about the Temperance card, child, nah, because we got to hang on to it. When I teach about, okay, Spirit has and the Chariot. That's what it is. That's what it is right there. Let's put these down over here. Let me get my little jack-o'-lantern to hold our deck down. I know. How cute is that? Y'all, listen, I have the cutest friends. They're so great. My friend Meg is notorious. I want to say I got both of these pieces from her one year or another, but she always has the freaking cutest Halloween gemstone finds. Did I get the Raven from her too? I think I did. I know. Get into it. Like, can we look? I told my friends we need our serotonin and dopamine. Look, there's worse ways. Okay, look, yes. Anyway, too cute. He's got to stay out here with us now. But let me tell you. Again, look, pumpkin. I mean, obviously, right, it's Halloween deck. But look, I love the jack-o'-lantern, the pumpkin energy. Let me say real quick, though, and we'll talk about the pumpkin and the jack-o'-lantern because it's appropriate. Another thing, though, is that I've been seeing spiders literally everywhere. Everywhere. And 'tis the season, right? But I'm telling you, it's uncanny, you guys. And around here, tell me if you see them a lot where you are, because I don't really know about riding spiders. We're going to read Spider Medicine from the book. But listen, I mean, I've been in the spot that I'm in for 2 different seasons now. No, I'm sorry, 3. Because before that, I was doing the tiny living thing. But listen, look, this year it's been different. I'm telling you, like, huge, massive level everywhere I fucking turn, dude. Beautiful riding spiders. Gorgeous. And the webs, like, dude, phenomenal. So the spider webs jump out to me immediately. Take it as you will with spider medicine, grandmother spider, the weaver of the webs of the cosmos, etc. Some associate spider energy with Loki. But we'll read. I'm going to try to remember. I'll be like, let's do this at the end. And then I just forget. So if it's meant to be, we will. Temperance caught my eye and spirit nudged me immediately because oftentimes we talk about in one-on-one readings that when you see the temperance energy, you know, normally it's, some say Archangel Gabriel, but take it as you will. The very androgynous, you know, divine masculine, very divine feminine, balance and harmony, evolving in our energetic understanding that we carry these frequencies within us as energetic beings. And so we're not talking about gender, right? We're talking about alchemy, magic, energy, frequency, etc. So, but we teach a lot that the temperance card is telling you your energy is precious. It's like liquid gold. Your frequency is the currency. That's your current. That's your currency. Trust me, honey, if you only knew. That's 3 snaps for you. I'm trying to activate something within you. Do you understand that you're an electromagnetic vessel and channel that connects the heavens and the earth? You understand how powerful? And how many people just I don't want to say people. Do you know how many like entities and black inverted dark Saturnian boxes and ugly, awful black magic, which is all being banished and it's degrading and falling apart. So don't you dare worry. But the point is that, ooh-wee, if you only understood how much power you have. And I'm seeing, was it like, was it not WandaVision? Why am I hearing WandaVision? Maybe that's confirmation or a little nudge, a little breadcrumb from someone. What is her name? Why am I blanking? Why am I seeing the Scarlet Witch? I'm seeing a lot of different things. Anyway, the beams out of the eyes, and when it's out of control, it burns everything down. But when it's balanced, it's so powerful. This is how powerful your energetic currency and the holographic type nature of this certain parts of this earth experience work. Where you focus your powerful energy is wild. And you're probably manifesting and magnetizing so much more than you really even understand. So it's very important to wake up to your own power. This is a big message. The temperance is always like, where are you out of balance? Especially I would encourage in the harvest season on the wheel of the year. I love to talk about us walking through these solar gateways, and we have 3 different altars that we approach all through harvest season, and we receive, but we are also required to sacrifice. It's like this twofold dance going through harvest season, and each time we have less and less and less light from the sun. So I love to reiterate in this season, especially already having come past autumn equinox and the eclipse portal. Dang, people are just blowing my notifications up, dude. Sorry. I didn't turn them off, but it's important not to just fucking do so much, honestly. And we were trying to make that sound real spiritual. That's just what it is. We all have commitments that we have to go to, but we're not designed to just be crazy putting out. We're not. That is spell work set up in a inverted, boxed in matrix black magic system. Love and light. That shit is banished. It's done. It's on the outs. It's going to take a little time to let it really burn the fuck down, and then we're going to rebirth. But listen, the point is that you gotta rest. Okay. Where are you out of balance? Where are you giving too much? Where are you doing too much? The harvest, the season of fall. And also, hello, yes, we're in Libra season, which is also so much about balance and harmony. Synergy is a word on this card as well. Synergy makes me think of alignment. Where are you out of alignment? It's okay. It is okay to be like, you know what? I think I overcommitted. Or, you know what, friend? I just want to communicate because I love you, but I have too much going on right now. Or I'm overwhelmed. Or, listen, dead ass, I love you guys so much. But, hey, you know what? Being out too much in the collective right now, it just drains me. I'm probably going to stay at home. But, hey, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Or you say, you know what? I know I volunteer for this every year, but I need some rest this season. Listen, just take good care of yourselves, okay? And I know as creators, as people who understand we're in a soul collective family, as people who read and help we do all these things for each other, right? And maybe we have different dynamics of family, different career, but we have all these things, okay? But let's just balance our energy and take good care, okay? And just understand that your energy is like such a powerful and important currency, okay? The other thing that I want to hit on, I want to look at the book just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure this is Seven of Cups, which kind of taps into the disillusionment and the sometimes we spiritual bypass, or it's really tempting to put our heads in the sand. Because we're in a lot of Piscean, Neptunian. Again, Neptune's going to join us in November, but Saturn retrograding in Pisces makes me think of the Seven of Cups a lot. And like how we're kind of going back over what it is that we need to release, we need to cleanse from. And Saturn retrograding in Pisces, Spirit is saying if that resonates with you, is coming up with the Seven of, I think this is Cups here. Put a pin note in that and go check it out. Might be great journal fodder for you. It might be really appropriate and resonant. And then the Chariot we had as well. Excuse me, another pumpkin, of course. So a lot, this is what I also teach when you're working with pumpkin seeds, cooking with pumpkin intentionally in the season. Number one, understand how ancient, sure. I mean, but for aeons and aeons, indigenous peoples, Native American peoples, what have you. I don't want to use the wrong term. I'm just tossing some out there, love and light. Okay. But also an understanding that for hundreds of years, the pumpkin sustained so many, and it was like a go-to thing that you could grow, that you could preserve easily, that you could can. But even before realizing those things, you could literally, there's a lot of sustenance, there's a lot of vitamins. Pumpkin seeds dried out. Pumpkin seeds alone, go read about them, child. Like, pumpkin is abundant in so many ways, and how it could sustain, how long it could keep. Again, it canned well. There's so many things. Pies, all these things, right? Pumpkin. And then, of course, the practice of putting a light, carving your jack-o'-lantern. A light is much like a lantern, right? Obviously, jack-o'-lantern. But I'm saying putting a light out on your porch, or maybe in your windowsill, on the eve where the veil was most thin. Of course, child, I don't know. We might just be we just going to keep relighting it, keep it out for the rest of the year. Because, honey, woo, the spooks coming out. Okay, but listen, I just realized we have 2 sevens. Yo, listen, I'm sorry. There's a 7 and a 7. Maybe you see 7s, or 777 is a breadcrumb, a synchronicity, something for you there. But also 7 plus 7 equals 14. That's very interesting. Balance and harmony again. 7. I heard 7 on each side. 14. That's interesting. Okay, but again, don't miss this, that the jack-o'-lantern it is a lantern. We've been talking about this hermit energy all year long. It goes back to the number 7 in the Tarot Major Arcana. It relates us to, I'm sorry, the number 9, but it relates us to the year of 9. We had our 2999 portals in Virgo season. Child, you know what I'm saying? So, very powerful energy. We think about the hermit and his lantern and lighting in the dark and holding out a torch, holding out a flame. I started this by saying, what was it? I literally said, I'm already feeling the super full moon in Aries coming through as like shooting a flare up in the dark. That's so interesting. Now that we're talking about the jack-o'-lantern being a light in the dark, it was a way to say, you know, peace be among you. This house is full of abundance. It's full of gratitude. It's full of light. You know, no spooks, no ghouls, no unwelcome visitors from beyond the veil can come in here. And so that's really cool. Almost every year, I'll actually do a little special combination on my altar of herbs and plant medicine and oils, and then I'll sprinkle it in my jack-o'-lantern to make sure. And that's going to be outside my house. That's a tradition here. You can do really beautiful abundance offerings. I don't really practice spell work, but that's a conversation for another day. But you can get, you know, the little pumpkins and enjoy them and cut the tops off and kind of scoop them out. Please, by all means, if they have seeds, keep them. They are so healthy and nourishing. But you can do a little, you know, a chime candle, or if you have just a tiny child, listen, Walmart, the dollar store, what have you, what do you have access to? You can get a small little tea light candle, pop that in there. I bet you got some cinnamon. If not, you probably can sprinkle with a little salt and just purify and set your intentions, and boom, you have a pretty little thing to sit out and make a sacred space. So love that. Also, don't get me started about all the spices and all the plant energy that goes back hundreds of thousands of years that have to do with like allspice, ginger, nutmeg, freaking cinnamon. You know what I mean? We could even go off there into a whole, you know, plant magic session there. But I'm really curious. Oh, did I pause us? I did. Can we just appreciate y'all? Look.